Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Yvette Quale. If you're new here, I'd like to welcome you to my channel where I like to share craft tutorials for junk journal, paper crafting, beadwork, and more. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing this little booklet that I made out of a mailing envelope. And so I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make this, but first we're going to go through the actual one that I've made here, the sample. So I've used an image here from a Mixed Media, Minnesota. I'm on their design team for 3 months, and this is one of the projects I came up with. This is called Doodled Flowers, and what I did was went ahead and filled this in with some glossy accents and just tied it with a piece of leftover material that I had here. It's actually, I think, a tie from a sweatshirt. So we're going to open this up. In the front here I have a pocket, and I have some journal cards that I've backed in either fabric or lace, and then I have another one here that I backed in music paper. Those are in the front. Then I have some tea-dyed paper here that I did some stenciling on. There's just 8 pages of that. And then in the back we have another image from the kit, making a little pocket. It has 2 journal tags in there, back to material and fabric again, and then this one I just stenciled on the back. So they tuck in here in this pocket. And then in the side here I have a side loading pocket that I have a little additional journal spot made out of just tea-dyed paper and some lace for a closure. In the front here we have a little tag that just has a little lace pocket there. So this opens up, and then this just has some spots for journaling inside. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a demonstration on how to make this. Wrap this back up. So I found that you don't want this to be real bulky here, this part, because it's going to tuck in and then the whole thing's going to close. And then the flap is covered. Just fold that in, fold that over. This goes around. And then it just tucks in to tie it off. So we'll leave this up here for our sample. And what I started with was a mailing envelope. This is not padded or anything. It's just a plain mailing envelope. It's 6 inches by 9 inches. And what I've done is I folded it so that on the side here you have about 1/8 of an inch, so that when this is kind of bulked up with the cardstock, then it'll still fit on there. So I'll have all the measurements in the description box, but I did write them down as well. So if you want to pause the video and look at these measurements, you can do that. So again, the original size is 6 by 9. The folded size is 4.5 across by 6 tall. And then we're going to cut 4 pieces for the inside and outside like this. So we're going to cut 4 pieces at 4 1/4 by 5 3/4 inch. We're going to cut 1 piece 2 inch by 5 3/4 for the spine, and 1 piece 1 1/2 by 5 3/4 for the other side. And then the kit that I used for this sample that we're going to make on camera here is from Mixed Media, Minnesota. I'll put the link to the Etsy shop in the description box, and I used the kit called Blue Wash. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put those all in the description box for you so you have those. So I went ahead, and what you're going to need is there's the 4 pieces of cardstock we're going to use. Here's the 2 pieces that'll go on the end here. And we're also going to need some journal cards, so I wanted to go through these from the kit. So I've chosen 1 journal card for the cover, and then 2, or a tag, and then 2 journal cards from the kit that are going to be the pockets for the inside. And then the rest of these, I went ahead and just put tea-dyed paper on the back of all of them. But as you can see, these images are really pretty from the kit, and I love the soft blue tones, kind of the weathered and worn look. So it's got a butterfly, rose, and bluebird theme to it. Very cute. Okay, so there's our journal cards that'll go inside. You're also going to need some kind of thread. What I'm using is a DMC thread. I'll put a link to the Etsy shop where I bought that. I use that for my signatures. Just double it up and it works well. So you want something that's really going to be sturdy, and this is. So I've gone ahead and pre-threaded my needle for the camera, so got that going. You're going to want some lace or something for the closure. I used, like I said, a sweatshirt tie here and then lace on the inside. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of lace on this one. And then you're going to need, well, I don't know if you need, but I used the little grommets or eyelets, whatever they're called, and my crocodile tool to put the, secure the ties. So we're going to move these aside for now. So let's start with the base. Again, you're going to fold this in with your flap on the right. You're going to fold it in to where you have about 1/8 of an inch here, and then this flap will fold over. So let's go ahead. I'm just using Fabri-Tac glue, and we're just going to glue this up. I'm glue happy, remember that. I want things to stick and stay. Okay. So I did pre-cut everything for the video just to save you guys time from watching me cut everything out and back the tags in tea-dyed paper and stuff. So all that was done ahead of time just so that you guys can make the best use of your time when you're here. Go ahead and just kind of center that. I just eyeball it. And I liked how this kind of picks up on the same writing that's on the card. You can see there's some writing on there, and I liked how that kind of picked that up with the paper. So just using paper from my stock in my craft room. I had some odds and ends and found these blue ones and thought they were pretty, so went ahead and put them in here. So let's just glue this up. And you could make a pocket on the front if you wanted. I just decided to put an image, just one of the tags on there. I thought it was pretty. Okay, we're going to do the same to the back with the same paper. And again, you can do, I don't really embellish a whole lot when I'm doing a tutorial because I want you guys to take the idea that I share and then do your own thing with it. So I try not to overly embellish. I mean, I'll put my own touches on this. I'll go back and do some doodling on there and stuff like I do. Maybe put some lace or some buttons, but I don't like to do too much in a tutorial because I want you guys to see, you know, and kind of give it your own feel. Each your own. So we're going to go ahead and put that on there. Again, you could put a pocket on the back. I chose not to in our sample here, but you could put a pocket and a tag in the back. And then on the inside, I've chosen this polka dot and just glue that down again. Another thing you could do is glue down the sides of this and then have a top loading pocket, which I thought would be fun. Definitely make it more bulky, but I think if you kept things, you know, not real thick when you made them and didn't embellish a whole lot, then I think they would work just fine. Or maybe just put some paper in there for journaling. Be kind of a cool idea. Just kind of put that down. We're going to do this one. Unfortunately, you have to watch me glue because I can't pre-glue. I mean, I guess I could, but it's hard to know what people want to see and what people don't. I just kind of go with what I like to see or not see. So I hope you guys are enjoying my videos that I'm sharing. Having a lot of fun doing it. go ahead and put this down. You got to be careful on the side here because this pocket does, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it does overhang a little bit, so just be wary of that. I shouldn't have glued all the way to the edge. I forgot about that. All right, so the next step, we've got the front cover done. We've got the inside and the back. Let's go ahead and put our journal cards on. We're just going to, well, I made journal cards into pockets. So we're just going to put a little bead of glue around the 3 sides and make that into a pocket. If you hear anything in the background there, that's the Coast Guard going over, doing some runs today, I think. All right, so we have that in there. Now for this part over here, we're going to have the inside and outside. The inner flap, I usually do the outside one first. So let's go ahead and glue this. So I just glue the whole piece and then I cut around it because I had a hard time cutting out that corner and making it look good. So I decided just to do it on the one side and frame it, and then on the other side it's just cut right up to it. So you can see that in our sample here. We've got a little reveal over here, but it goes right up to the edge here, so it's an easy cut. So how I did that is I just put this on here, and you want this to line up, and you'll notice here that this has a little notch out of the corner. That's fine because we're going to cut that off here at the bottom. So go ahead and glue that down, and I found it's easier to go ahead and cut this out while you're there, and then put the other inside piece on and cut that out in a minute. We're going to cut that out, and then we're going to do the inside one. Same thing, gluing the whole piece. And again, we're just going to line this up and eyeball it. Like, let's get it in the right spot, huh? Like this. And I made that a little bit bigger. You could do it at the 1.5, but I made it a little bit larger just so it gave me a little more flexibility with lining it up. I'd rather have too much than not enough on there. So let's go ahead and cut this off. Okay, so there's what we have so far. This will fold over, this will fold in. So now we need to punch our hole here. If you guys have watched any of my videos, you know I struggle with this, but that's okay, right? It's just me. Alright, so we're going to cut a big hole somewhere in the middle. I don't measure anything. Well, not in this project, except the paper. Alright, got that one in. Alright, so the next step is to sew in our pages. And what I have here is some tea-dyed paper. And I just cut them down so that when they're in the middle here, they're smaller so that this doesn't get too bulky on the edge. And I have 2 pieces, which makes 8 pages. So I did not pre-punch the holes on this just because it's only a few pages, so it's easy to get in there and get it done. I don't, again, measure this. I just kind of eyeball it. You want to go straight down through and go through the envelope. Okay, I've got my thread doubled, and I have a knot, of course. Real crafting, huh? All right, let's get the knot out. Oh dear. Never happens when I'm not on camera. Wrong, it does. Okay, so there we go. Now we got it all uneven here. Oh dear. Let me get this straightened up. All right, there we go. Pull that down. Then we're going to come up through the spine here and up through all the pages. Probably would be easier if I pre-punched these, but I didn't want to have too big of a hole with it only having 4 little pages in there. And then the doubled up envelope cardstock stuff. All right, there we go. And you're going to come back up through the middle there. Being careful not to split your thread. Make sure you go through the same hole. Make your threads on each side here. Go ahead and tie this off. And I always double knot it. Okay, let's go ahead and cut that off. So there we have our little booklet. I'm going to go ahead and put my journal cards in here. Put a couple in the back here. Okay, then our little booklet that slides in the side here, I've gone ahead and made that up. So what this is I have folded a piece of paper over, folded it again just on the outside so that this becomes the flap. Okay, and then I've cut a piece of paper. Again, let's refer to our chart here. So I cut, oh, I don't think I wrote that down. Anyway, I cut this 2 inches, and we're just going to glue up both sides of it. So it's 2 inches folded in half. And the reason I did this was punching a hole just right into one sheet of tea-dyed paper isn't enough to help it hold the closure. So just going to do this. And what I did was just put that on the outside here, like a little cap. Just put it on like that. We have that. And then we're going to punch our hole. Again, I just eyeball that. You can measure if you'd like. Go ahead and put our... Somebody tell me in the description or in the comments if this is a eyelet or a grommet. I don't know. It doesn't have a back on it. It's just one-sided. Alright, so there we have that. You can do all kinds of things with this. You can stencil on them, draw on them, put some lace on the edge if you want. So we're going to put a little pocket on the outside. I have this little piece of lace here. And what I did with that, just lined it up. Cut it off right here. Then I just glued it down 3 sides like a pocket. Okay. My glue's not cooperating. I even filled it up before I started. I'm going to stick that down here. down so it's nice on there. And you'll see this tag is a little bit big, so we can cut that down. Not a problem. So in the kit there's a couple of tags that were a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to cut this down and make it work for me. There we go. Might need to cut it just a little bit more. Just so that we have room there for the tie. So for the tie, I'm going to use this lace, and I just poke it through. I found it's easier with these metal things, eyelets, grommets, whatever they are, to poke it through from the front to the back. Of course, it's easier when I'm not doing this video, right? There we go. You're just going to pull it through. You're just going to tie a knot in that to secure it inside there. You could also tape it down and put a piece of another piece of paper over it, which is what I did here in our sample. I just stuck it through there, put it down, and put a piece of paper over it. So we're going to go through, and what I did with this one was came through. Let me grab this other piece of lace out of there. I got them mingled up. Alright, we're going to come through like this. We're going to wrap it around and tuck it in. So we need these actually to not be that long. So I'm going to cut these off. Again, better to have too much than not enough. So we're going to just tie the end here. I just cut that other end off because I made it too small, or too long. Okay, we're going to do that. So you basically have a piece with a knot on the end, goes through, has a knot on the other end, and then we're just going to wrap these around and tuck them in. Wrap them this way and tuck them in, maybe. Maybe I made them too short now. Nope, that's fine. Okay, then that just slips right in here. We're going to take our other piece of lace. And again, just pull it through. So this one I did do a little bit different. I tied the knot and then secured it down. But with a thinner piece, that's because I had that t-shirt material was thicker. So with lace, we're going to want to maybe do a double knot there so it doesn't slip through. Boy, we're just having fun, aren't we? Okay, so we're going to pull that over. And then with this one, I just pulled it around a couple times and tucked it in. So we're going to want that about there. And then just tuck it in. So there's our completed piece. We have a couple extra journal cards that I'll stick in there. I'll probably go back and, like I said, do a little doodling on there just because that's what I do. But yeah, I think this is a fun little project. Really cute images. And again, this is a design team project for Mixed Media Minnesota. So please check out the Etsy site. She's got really cute digitals. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And hit the notification bell so you know when I upload my next video. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day.